Hello, Mr. Cat. Hello, Soup World. Teasel, cheers. So I'm going to have a problem. I'm going to have a problem here because Teasel is sitting on the mouse mat, which means that oh, I better check I haven't got anything dodgy open. And by that I mean work. Teasel, say hello to Soup World. Meow. Meow. Oh, camera's moving. Creepy. Alright, let's just have ourselves. Ominous cat is ominous. Teasel. Right. Right. We had all of this stuff going on. Right. So that was from the last stream. Hello, Orby. Oh, this dramatic music, which you probably can't hear, is from Zelda Breath of the Wild, and it's dramatic. Teasel is dramatic. Teasel. 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 Alright. Actually, I can't do this with that there. Sorry, Teasel, you're going to have to look dramatic, but from another angle. Whoa! Look at the size of that. What's with the title? Oh, that was from the day-to-day. Let me actually edit that. Hello, Doomsaw. Finding an artist. Alright, I've changed the title. That's amazing. Right. So, that's good. I now have my mouse mat back and I can move everything around and life is good. Alright. Bye-bye, Teasel. We loved you. But, thou hast gone. Oh, my arms are aching because I went to the gym the other day. Yes, I joined a gym. Get over it. All right. So, what's my goal here? Well, I don't really know what I want to do. So, what I wanted to do, the outcome of the last thing, was I wanted to try something. The tech kind of doesn't matter here, but I wanted to see, was it satisfying, was it fun, to create a little scene, but create it very rich, very deep. So, you know, if you were to have a field and to apply this standard, there would be like the grass would blow in the wind, insects chirping, you know, flocks of birds. The sun would rise and fall and all that kind of dramatic nonsense. Right. Now I have worked through a scene that I want to do, but I'm going to cut that down even more. Now, the simplest way to do this is 2D, and I like 2D. Or maybe it's not 2D, but what I want to do is find, first of all, I kind of want to find, so if I was going to go for an artist, what I'm looking for is something that's well defined, a good artist, cheap. He can have some freedom, but there are particular styles, 2D styles I do like, and particular 2D styles I don't like. Now, hello Festec, and unpause it. Hello guys. Meow meow meow. Yeah, I know Teasel was here a minute ago. Teasel. Nope, can't see her. So, reference material is always good because when it comes to artistic creativity, trying to describe that to somebody else is quite hard. But find reference material. Be as specific as what you want from them. So deliverables. And that includes format thing. Oh yeah, cost. That's to be worked out. Hello, Scallo. All right. So what I was saying was one of the things that's happened today was I received an email from a Kickstarter that I backed yonks ago. So let me just quickly change my Google account. Let's go and find it. Let's go and find it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Because there should be a link to it on Steam, because I've got a Steam token for it, right? So it's called Greedy Guns. So let's go and have a look at that on Steam, shall we? Greedy Guns. Right, so I haven't actually looked at this for a while, but this is a 2D game that I backed because it had the word Metroidvania probably. So let's go and have a look. So, now, here's an interesting thing, right? I actually don't like this art style. And I'm going to use, I don't know what the correct term for it is, but I've kind of worked out why I don't like it. But I tend to refer to it as the Flash style. And the reason I don't really like it is because it's imprecise, right? So I come from the background of Castlevania games, Metroid games, Mario games, where, you know, pixel perfect interaction with the scenery. I am used to it. I like it. It makes me happy. So that's it. It is probably vector art. Yes, yes. And oh, someone's following me. What just happened then? What did I just miss? Macod is following. No, that was. Okay, I'll get an announcement in a minute because my phone seems to ping before my computer does. Brilliant. Is that the end of it? So I'll play that. I paid for it. I darn well want to. It's got 1 user review so far. It's only out today. In fact, actually, I'm just going to do a quick check that I haven't got more. That there wasn't more than one product out today. I don't know. It was all Greedy Guns. Okay, so. And if we go and compare that to, say, YouTube Super Metroid. If we go and compare that to something like this. It's very blocky, very precise. Hartager subscribed. Hello, man. Hello, man. So close to a year. Is it really that long? Man. And to think the amount of drink and drugs I've taken from all the subscriptions. Hello, man. Thank you very much. Yeah, and it's all got like 90, the slopes are all like 30 degrees or whatever it is that goes between 2 unit squares and stuff. And I just like that. But the thing is like even if I'm not fixed on the particular style, oh, what's other M? Oh, that was the, yeah, that was the Nafsky one, wasn't it? This looks like a mod. Total Conversion Star. Wow. And yeah, I just like it, and I also think it's also interesting in that yeah, I mean, it's designed around blocks, small blocks you can put together in different ways. I quite like that. Find reference material. So likes, does nay like. Flash style, imprecise. I don't know how to spell imprecise. Precise. That looks wrong. It's not though. Yeah, looking for an R2. Does nay. Yeah, doesn't nay. Like. Likes. So remember, this is retro, blocky, Super Metroid. Now. A good example of something like let's go and have a look at some other ones I don't really like. Braid was an interesting one because it was all right. No, but I actually didn't really like it. It was a watercolory style. It felt a bit weak. There were some interesting compositions. Is that actually going to play? Yeah, so there's some interesting compositions here, so that's kind of quite cute as a work of art. But actually, I kind of didn't like it. What do you guys think about this style? Like, it's all arbitrary angles and stuff, and the art style, I'm not a fan of it, right? I'll see you, Festec. This is only a short stream, but I might stream later tonight, and I'll be definitely on at the weekend because I'm free. I'm free finally. Crazy guy eats Weetabix. So, yeah, it's imprecise. It's also vector art. Well, I mean, this isn't vector art. This is just hand painted. I mean, it's not. Vector art is a particular form, usually of like using polygons, but in 2D. So you tend to not get the detail and stuff. Get very much, be your artist. Spacebar. Well, that's really helping, isn't it? So let's get rid of that. Doesn't like braid. Castle Crashers. Now, I'm on a forum with the guy that does this, Dan Paladin, but I actually don't like it. Like, it's cartoony, it has charm and stuff, but like the background, like the characters actually are kind of okay because they're quite detailed, but the backgrounds feel knocked out and cheap. And it's a style. I don't like it. I'm not saying it's good or bad or whatever, but I don't like it. Castle Crashers. Right, what's but I like how he made the dynamic background. The dynamic background, oh, actually, what do you mean by that? I mean, I can be wrong. Let's just do a search for Metroidvania. Top 10 2D Metroidvania games. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Ori and the Blind Forest is an interesting one. Because I'm not sure I like it. Is this actually going to help? No, it's rubbish. So just going to have a look at Ori and the Blind Forest. That's the soundtrack. No, I don't actually want that. How the background behaves in terms of time flowing forward and background. Forward and back. How do you mean? It's I know it animates, but it certainly doesn't. I certainly don't remember. So Ori and the Blind Forest, that's looking like realistic. Well, it's halfway between realistic and fully stylized. It has got painterly aspects about it. So that, don't get me wrong, this is pretty, and I certainly wouldn't say I don't like it. I would veer into the territory of saying it's not for me and the kind of precise control I want. In fact, this is quite interesting because this goes. I was talking about having like adding depth to the scene, and actually looking at this, I've never played Ori and the Blind Forest, but looking at it, this is deep, right? So everything is animating. We've got water coming off here, we've got leaves, things responding to the wind. So this is actually great because it would be possible in a naive way for this scene to be almost identical except inanimate, right? It's in the uncanny, should be 3D Valley. So I didn't get to watch all the real talk stream. What's actually happened? I got general sense. Keeping the dream is alive is fading in terms of the books. Yeah. I need to do something that can come out relatively soon-ish because I'm. And the reality is that Diorama is still quite a long way from being. Even if I was working full time and was fully motivated, 6 months to get a sort of release is, pardon me, quite a long time. So I'm taking stock and saying what's quicker, what's fun, what will motivate me. Yeah. So possibly a 2D side-scroller RPG. Yes, that's an idea, and I went through the ideas. I could put them on Google Docs actually, if you really wanted to read the brain dump that we did. But the gameplay harder at this moment isn't the big deal, because one of the things that I went over about what would inspire me is world building, stories, depth, character, feeling. And so one of the things I talked about in terms of as an early investigative goal would be to take a very small gameplay scene, almost no gameplay, but can it be the rich scenery that I want? So for example, this is actually quite a good example, right? As I said, we've got, ignore that bit. Let's get down to it. Right, so for example, the trees, no, let's get to the platforming bit. All right, so here we go. We've got little things. There's life here. It is alive, right? Now I haven't got the audio on, but if we listen to it, it's probably got nice whooshing audio and the wind in the trees and stuff. So actually, this, even if the style isn't for me, for my game, because of its imprecise nature, the richness of this is excellent, right? So if we were to replace this, if you were to replace this with Samus from Super Metroid and blocky graphics, my point is, just because it's blocky graphics doesn't mean we can't have the light filtering through. We can't have God rays. We can't have lit up dust motes. We can't have start dangling things. We can't have a Teasel meowing in the background. Teasel, you owe Harter a party. You coming over here, cat? All right. If she can't, nobody's seen her eat Dreamies for some time, so I will. These aren't Dreamies. We do have Dreamies. They're just not at hand. Oh, Teasel is approaching. Look, you can see her. All right. It's only been like 10 minutes since I started streaming, but we're going to do a Teasel feed. So, Teasel, you ready? Whoa, whoa. All right. What? Right. Oh, I'll hold it. All right, Teasel, you ready? You ready for some sweets? Well, it is alive in terms of sprites being squeezed and stretched. Yeah, but that's sometimes all it takes. The point is that there's a Teasel. Ow, that's my finger. Little Teasel. Whoa, stable. Look at those front paw gap. Ow. Dear me, are you sharpening your teeth, Teasel? Do. Teasel, say hello to Harter. Ow, why are you biting me? Why are you doing that, cat? You never used to do that. Ow, ow, cut that out, cat. She's gone all chewy on me. Like a chewy thing. Alright, let's do the more flattering down top, down blouse shot. Right. Anyway, right, so let's go back and see what you guys are saying. Actually, I'm going to go and wash my fingers because they're covered in cat flob. Yeah, little Teasel, cat flob. We don't like the cat flob, do we? Oh, maybe you do. All right, back again. Right, so Ray March, do you want to give us a bit more detail on what you mean by the Breath of the Wild stuff? Because I kind of agree, but I don't want to put words in your mouth about what you think that means. So it feels like jelly. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing of sort of 2D animation and stuff. But the character animation to me is, it's too imprecise, basically. Oh, look, that was nice. See, but I'm on board with the richness that they're going for, right? And so that's my goal, is to see what is the cost of making a rich world like that. And I don't know, because I've never really done it. It's just little things. And what I saw here was when he was walking across left, was that there was something in silhouette right in front of it. So we've got fading in and out. I mean, that's a good thing to do with vector or high resolution graphics, which you can't tend to do with pixel graphics. But, you know, like doing gradual fades, zooms looks bad, right? Something walked across the screen here. Didn't it? Or did I imagine it? Did I imagine it? I think I imagined it. Am I a prat? Yes. Oh no, there we go. There we go. Some little creature there. So little things like that are quite cool, and the trees in the background probably are moving. Right. So where are we? The fade was taking place in HDR. I missed it. I appreciate that the devs spend time and give a good thought into putting a story in and giving it depth and whatnot, but if it doesn't captivate me in the first 15 to 20 minutes, I'm not really interested. Yeah, well, I mean, that's a classic part of script writing, and it's something I've thought about because I don't know too much about film script writing, and certainly don't know that much about writing books. But it's very interesting in that a lot of the lessons to do with writing good books or good screenplays for films are not followed in games, right? Why that is, I guess it's because, hey, the people that have grown up with games haven't grown up in an intellectual approach to designing good stories, right? But we kind of know it's the classic, oh, I don't know how to make films, but I could make one better than that rubbish, like Suicide Squad or something. The truth is, you probably can't, because there's, even to be mediocre at filmmaking, there is a large amount of work you need to do. Right. And I think I know just enough, probably not enough to do a great job about it, but enough to know how to hook people in the first 15 to 20 minutes. And that's something that would be a challenge. So, for example, this demo that I'm kind of building up to, or could be building up to, would be it wouldn't even be the first chapter in the game, but it would be a great way to do a demo, and there's enough in there to show that there's an adult thing and all the drama and conflict and all that kind of stuff. Yes, I'm not really a fan of heavy story reliant games. I don't want to be forced to go this way, that way to progress. Yeah, I mean, open world versus linear games is another thing. Now, I would like to do both, but there are some considerable costs of doing open world games. Having said that, there's a different kinds of costs in doing the linear stuff, right? I think overall, if I'm not doing content, algorithmically generated content, then linear is probably the way to go, I think, because you can guarantee every bit of content you make is going to be used. I really enjoyed the Final Station design. Let's go and have a look, because I don't know that. The Final Station game. Oh, okay. So this is, I assume this is the one you mean. This is very pixely. Let's go and have a look. See, here's what I mean, I don't know what's actually supposed to be happening here, but if this was me, this is a bit too bland. Although the characters are kind of cute, but like, should the characters be moving? Should he be writing at his desk? He's blinking. I would be looking for more richness. But I mean, there are some great things to do with a graphic style like this, because it's easier to produce. It just frankly is. But it feels like an algorithmic kind of a life where engineers put a lot of parameterization possibilities interesting. Yeah, I mean, what interests me about Breath of the Wild is that it's a bit like GTA 3. There's a lot of things that go into making the scenes, and the artists, I don't believe, are in control of all of them. There's so much going on, but they have been balanced to work well, such that you get a huge variety. Like even when the grass just turns a slight tint of yellow, suddenly you start feeling you're heading towards the desert, and the wind might change, and the creatures you see. Oh, I was talking about Ori and the Blind Forest. Oh, well, I'm still talking about Breath of the Wild, because it was something when I was watching Jodie the other day, is that a lot of the beauty comes out of having a wide palette of things, and I don't believe the artists were fully in control. I think they were to a degree. But I see what you mean, like Ray March, which is a lot of things that should probably have been artistically led were programmer led. So they ended up being a bit bland, because programmers, we're not great, right? But yeah, so with Ori and the Blind Forest, I definitely don't like the way the characters were animated and stuff. Sinus displacement scrolling downwards on almost every plant. Yeah, I see what you mean. And they probably did that because of it's a small company, and I'm guessing, I don't actually know how big it is. So this is a bit too clean for me, a bit too bland. But if I had graphics like this and could then start adding layers of aliveness, it would be great. So what do I mean by that? Well, again, let's take this scene. Like, I don't like the fact that all the buildings are grey. I mean, I just need cheerful colours, even if the game's miserable. And look at Moonbase, Rob. Moonbase? It was One Dev and One Artist. So they've done great for One Dev and One Artist. So I'm not going to knock that, definitely. Yeah, so if this was alive, like, let's just leave this running. There would be wind, the trees would be moving, birds flying, going from thing to thing. Or these guys maybe drop some crumbs on the floor and a bird flies in and gets it. The traffic lights are changing. There's people walking around. If you come through a manhole cover, someone stops and goes, what the hell? You know, all stuff like that. Just life going on, right? So this isn't a bad start. It is very, very grey. Very grey, which is a shame. Moonbase. I don't know whether you're joking. No, you're not. Ah, right. So I really don't like this. Really, really don't like this. And it's now got what? What the hell is that doing? Yeah, I really don't like this. So we'll put that down as a doesn't like. Ori and the Blind Forest. Although life in scenes is great, but actual art. Oh. Art, not so much. Alright. Outlines thicker than the air. Well, this is one of the things that I think is a highlight of these Flash games, right? It's because you can scale these things, and that's what happens. Is that people scale all this stuff all over the place. And yet, just because something can be scaled. Ah, interesting. I'll show you a problem here in a minute. But is that the outlines end up being different thicknesses, right? And if you scale something with a big outline and then you scale it up, like I was seeing the rocks, the outlines scale, and it just feels cheap, right? But what they've got is really large bits of graphics, and you probably can't see this on the stream, but I can see where they've scaled up the tile background graphics, and I can see seams everywhere. So, like, seaming there, in fact, and seams there. There's a seam there. I don't know if you can see it. Look, there's a horizontal line. Yeah, you probably can on the highest thing. Manifold Garden has the same outline problem with its textures. Yeah, Manifold Garden has such a strong sense of its own style at the moment that's quite good. Yeah, this gameplay might be fantastic, but I would rather... It's just me, right? So this is about opinion rather than fact, right? So anyway, right. So, what I'm looking for, guys. So, where to find a pixel artist. So actually, I still hadn't found a good, well, Castlevania is, no, I don't want that one. PS1, what was it? What was that one? Symphony of the Night. Now they did. It has 3D elements, so I've immediately picked one, but it is actually 2D art. Yeah, that's pretty good. And if I can find one of the boss creatures, it says, which I'll. Oh, that's not it, is it? No. Yeah, so they kind of have that, and it's actually a bit rubbish. 3D stuff. No, that wasn't it. Come on. Is that one of them? No, that's just a big moon. All right, I should probably just skip to the end, right? Carl West, they had big creatures. I know they did. No, everything's tiny. All right, anyway, I'll give up on that. Castlevania is a good one. I'm struggling against pixel art in my projects. Well, my goal isn't to find to start getting final art. I want to get some decent art I like, and then code with it, get a demo, then remake the demo using different graphics and styles. Right, so for example, when we were talking the other day, Ray Much made the point, and I already agreeing, which, you know, maybe we should make a 2D side scroller but keep it in 3D, right? Because then we gain access to a lot of Unity stuff, or whatever engine, right? But if it's in 3D, you can do rotations, you can do lighting, you can do, you know, you gain quite a lot. There is a flexibility there. And I don't know if any, PS1, what was it? All right, PS1 3D platformer. Right, there's a particular game I'm looking for, and I can't remember what the hell it was called. Oh, well, there was one called Pandemonium. Yeah, that'll do. PS1 Pandemonium. Okay, and this is an example where it's 2D, but well, the gameplay is in a 2D plane, but it's actually 3D. So stuff rotates, right? You're never going into or out manually. It's a bit like Crash and stuff, but you've got a bit more of going around. There we go, stuff like that. So that's something that could be worth trying. But the point is, I want some half decent graphics, and I want to experiment with bringing a scene alive, even if there's no gameplay. I would like it to be rich enough that people go, wow, that's kind of cool. And then I'll know the problems of writing a system that deals with that, including any cutscenes or any kind of interactivity. Yeah. You can get just the fact that you can rotate things. We're looking for an artist. Yeah, hello, Grachev. Yeah, basically. And animate automatically once you have skeletons. Yep. Yep. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Okay, so I would like to get something that's not necessarily fun but interesting, and then that you know, I get choices. Then the graphics might go off me. Maybe they'll be amazing. But yeah. Oh. Okay. No, I've forgotten. Right. So reference material blocky. Free. Pixel art characters animated. I'm just going to actually have a look. Let's see if I can find animated. I mean, to be honest, I could rip them out of a game. I don't. I'd go the Guilty Gear way. What's that? Guilty Gear 2D graphics. Oh, is this very large and detailed? Oh, I see what you mean. So this, are you talking about the modern one where it's 3D rendered, but actually they do a lot of processing to make it like 2D? Yeah, there was some good talks on that, weren't there, and how they made it, cartoonish. Right. Do you know what? I'm actually for character art. So SNES RPG character rip. Let's just go and have a look. So if I was just, because I don't need a lot of stuff. In fact, I could even steal Super Metroid, except I kind of want to do a fantasy style thing, so that's not it. Will there be water? Hello, Whiteland. Yes, I'll put some water in. Why are you starting a new game, Rob? Loadclaw. Well, I'm taking stock of what I'm doing, because I had one of those periods where my motivation was down. So I'm looking at other stuff to work out, like, what the right way to progress is, because I need to. I could keep working on Diorama for the next 2 years, and if I'm not careful, never release it, right? And that's, if I say that, then it sounds bad and something needs to change. But the most optimistic outlook might be saying 6 months' time, and that's not ideal either. So maybe I'm going to flex my creative muscles elsewhere for a few months or something. Sprite as resource. Yeah, I've come across these things before. So I'm kind of looking for, what would I be looking for? So what's a good platformer? Are there any good fantasy platformers? How are you doing, Load Claw, by the way? How's things? What are you playing these days? I never found a good game on itch.io. Okay. I think you could do a good 2D. Well, I do as well, but so it's really hard for me to admit that I might have made some big mistakes, and especially it's hard to admit the kind of mistakes that were made on pride or stupidity, right? So if I make a mistake because I'm ill-informed and you kind of go, oh, well, he didn't really know, that's okay. But the problem with some of my things is that, like, okay, this arrogance strikes again, right? I'm a decent programmer. I'm a decent games programmer, but if there's a major criticism, or two major criticisms. One, all of my life I've been optimistic, right? I'm always optimistic on deadlines and stuff. That is a bad thing, very bad. And the second one is that instead of taking this much of my ability and applying it to something that takes that much ability, and then the leftover ability can be polish and fun and do really high quality. No, instead I took this much ability and then stretched it over a project that was that big. So instead of doing a smaller project exceptionally well, I did a large project averagely mediocre, right? So, the other one would have been far more satisfying, and that's part of what is coming about, because like part of me wants to do creative stuff, not just programming, but not even just gameplay, but story. So yeah, the Momodora games. Let's go and have a look at those. I've never heard of those. Momodora. Is that it? Series review. Oh, so this is a bit like Cave Story. Yeah, so these kind of graphics, they're a bit like the character art. In fact, it reminds me of Fez, right? Hello, Normal Want. Hello, Vortex. And user 142. Anyone else I haven't said hello to? Sorry, guys. Massey. Yep, hello there. So yeah, so this is Cave Story, basically. And I would be looking for, like, if I had Cave Story style graphics or Momodora style graphics, I'd actually be all right with that. Again, because I can then take it a bit further and add life to it. And that interests me. Even little things like these kind of bubbles in the background. I don't know what they are, but that's kind of cute. Momodora, okay. That's Momodora series, maybe a bit more detailed than that. Okay, Momodora V alpha gameplay. Whoa, it's gone 3D. Okay, slightly less interesting then. The art has developed. Reverie Under the Moonlight. Let's go and have a look. Reverie. Yeah, okay, I should have looked at the last one. Oh, yeah, you're totally right. You're totally right. This is... yeah, we'll do that. Oh, and you've just reminded me of the other games as well. So, Shantae. And the Pirate's Curse, maybe. I think that's the one I played. Maybe less of the large-breasted women, but the pixel art on this is very, very cute. And so they're starting it. In fact, this is probably the closest I've got so far. It's kind of Metal Slug style. What have we just got? Metal Slug style. But what's good about this is, in fact, I'm just going to make a comment before I forget. Shantae. So bright, colourful, cute. Now remember, just because I'm talking about cute graphics, I'm not necessarily meaning that the gameplay will be cute or the story will be cute. Let's have a look. We've got one from Skello there. Shantae went Vectorlator. What have I got against large-breasted women? They take out too many pixels. The pixel budget gets used up on them. Alright, let's have a look at this. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. So, yeah, we're starting to get more richness. When's this? Is this an old... What's this? What console is this on? Is this SNES or Mega Drive? It looks like it. So yeah, that's definitely getting there. The characters are a bit too. Oh, mind you, that's pretty cool. Yep, that's pretty cool. And what was it called? Dragon Ball Advanced Adventure. Is that great Game Boy Advance then? All right, put that one down there. So what was the other one I was going to say? You're saying the latest Shantae went vector art, is it? Which one's that? Shantae series. Let me see if they're veering away from it. Cancelled games. No, what's the next one then? Or is it... It's not the Pirate's Curse one. Half Genie Hero. Boss battles. Yeah, so that doesn't surprise me that they've gone vector art. But they're like, because of the largeness of it. But, oh, yeah, So I actually, now looking at these backgrounds, so the character art when it's small is actually still pretty similar. It does allow them to do bigger stuff cheaply, but the backgrounds are not as nice. I'm just looking at that. I don't like it as much. That looks a bit rubbish. Oh, it's so they can do 3D and stuff. Okay, it's all 3D. That's okay. That's not a problem. Yeah, this is okay, but it's starting to lose some of its charm. I suppose if they're going 3D, you can't really avoid it, because if you want to do rotations and running around non-planar surfaces, then pixel art isn't really going to cut it. But yeah, I don't like those backgrounds as much. Whereas this stuff, I live. I'm only looking at the boss battles. Yeah, I'm sure the... Dude, spoiler much. Hello, Flint still. But watch the video on demand. Okay. Opening no scale. Yeah. Yeah, I mean it can look alright. It's not grabbing me. It genuinely isn't. But yeah, so they obviously do author a lot of their character art in vector style anyway. But then it's pixelated and that's cute. So yeah, if you guys are aware of the Metal Slug series, I should put that down. Metal Slug. Everything's all cute. They even do the rotations with the pixel art, and it looks a bit rubbish in places. But yeah. Now, I don't think I would ever be able to afford this kind of quality, but it's kind of nice. That's a good target. So if I gave these things to an artist, I think they'd know what I meant in terms of style. So what's next? What's next on this? If I was going to write a spec to find an artist, in fact, so yeah, I've got to. So okay, where to find an artist? How much? So I don't know. So could it be possible to make a vector art game look pixel art using shader? Well, you can always render. You could always render the vector art at a lower res and then upscale it, and that would make it pixely. But yeah, how you do outlines is quite a big part of this, or keeping proportions detail appropriate when it's smaller. It's very hard with vector art because it's just optimized for multiple scales, but it always means it's like fonts. Fonts are a great example, right? So TrueType fonts are vector graphics and you can scale them to any size and they look good, except when they get small. And that's when a lot of people stop using TrueType fonts when they're small and use a handcrafted one, because even though technically they're shrinking correct, they actually end up being less visible. So. So Metal Slug is cool. Fort Apocalypse, C64. Gosh. I suspect. Yeah, that's a bit too basic. Maybe. To be honest, I think your taste is old-looking games. Well, it could be. So again, what I would like to do for the first pass would be. Oh, okay. All right. The first pass would be what I like, but then we can do some experiments. Like I genuinely don't mind hiring 3 artists to remake the art assets in different styles, and then we'll see what we like. That doesn't bother me. Pokemon, that's 404. That one. Oh, because what's going on there? Yep. Yeah, so I'm guessing that's off the 3DS, is it? So what was or DS, what was interesting about the DS was it actually had a hardware toon shader, right? So when you were rendering 3D graphics on the DS, the resolution was so low that a single line pixel outline on some triangles was good enough. And so they actually had it, I mean, you have a German virus, yes. Play Shovel Knight. Let's have a look. Shovel Knight. Can't remember what that is. I've got it. Yeah, so the DS had a hardware thing. You would just set a few bits while rendering, and then your stuff got an outline. Why did I do this? Let's go and have a look on YouTube instead. Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight co-op. No, let's have a look. So, yeah, it's bright. It's possibly a bit oversaturated, but it's kind of cute. Yeah, this has possibly gone a bit too crazy with the color scheme, but I mean, generally it's all right, in my opinion. Right, hello Bartwee, how you doing, man? How you doing? You hate this art style. Well, I'm okay with it, but like if I was going to talk about it being in console generations, it's not quite SNES. It's kind of like 70% of the way towards SNES from NES, but the bright color schemes and yeah. So the sprites are definitely quite detailed, but the backgrounds are practically Spectrum style. Yeah. It's supposed to be NES inspired. Yeah, it's definitely more on from that, but I can see where it's coming from, yeah. So that's my my nostalgia value doesn't really extend to the Sega Master. Well, I suppose it does actually. Wonder Boy 3 SMS. I mean, this I think is kind of cool. But actually, do you know what? I'm going to immediately take that back. I look at this. Obviously, I don't quite remember it as this because that is pretty basic and rubbish. Oh, that's the mouse in the mouse block. Yeah, that is far too repetitive. Maybe not. The Lunarius story. I don't know what that is. Oh, hello. Oh, I take it back. I don't like the character art. It's funny when they do kind of this almost realistic big-headed character thing. I don't like it. That's just me. Yeah, that's just weird. That's a bit like Final Fantasy IX, which, and nobody agrees with me, but I don't like the characters in Final Fantasy IX. I thought 7 and 8 were much better. Yeah, so this is nice and detailed, but the characters, in fact, this is weird because the character art doesn't seem to match the rest of the world, actually. I don't know what they're doing with their art direction, but it's not cohesive. That is weird. That bugs me a lot when things don't match. Whoa, MMO. Right. Yeah, in the early Sonic the Hedgehog. Mega Drive. Yeah, I mean, that's super bright. It is. Yeah. I mean, I don't suppose any of you know what I'm talking about when I talk about the Blue Skies in Games campaign. and I can't be bothered to try and explain it either. But the brightness is something I actually quite like, a sense of joy about playing these games. Right, Dofus, Wakfu Art. Right, I'm going to have to stop this and actually come up with a conclusion at some point and move to the next stage. It's stretched. Way to go. Okay, it's kind of quite hard to see actually. It's all right. Yeah, it's all right. It's a bit like Disgaea stuff, isn't it? Disgaea 5. Let's have a look at that. And actually, the earlier Disgaeas I kind of preferred. Like, if we're talking isometric stuff, Final Fantasy Tactics was pretty darn cool. Are we going to see the game here? So oh, what the hell's going on here? Is this a remake? That's really weird. Anyway, hello Boogie. Right. Ragnarok Online. Ragnarok Online. Let's go and have a look. MVP hunting. I can't actually work out what's going on. That's a really low quality stream. That's better. It's in 3D. It's all right. It's a bit forgettable. I think like the foliage and that. It's a bit like Diablo and stuff, where the background is the background. Like it's not actually that much interesting. What else? What was the other one? E7. Nappish Tim. Everyone likes a nappish Tim. I don't know what it is. This was a PlayStation 1. Nope. Darn it. Is there no walkthrough for this? Maybe. Yeah, I thought this is slightly stronger, but this is actually still, a lot of this is 2D elements in 3D, so these are all planes. Could check out Grandia. Mark of the Ninja. Tree of Savior. Whoa! What have I opened? Oh, what's going on there? Has somebody else followed? Yeah. Matthias 201537, thank you very much. See, I could deal like even if I'm not a major fan of the character style, it kind of doesn't matter because I would rather have a simpler style of graphics that then I can make rich with this stuff I'm talking about, making the world come alive, than have something that was slow to deliver. So actually, you know what? That's not a bad one. That probably wasn't. It's probably not a bad one actually. I'll have to think about that. Mark of the Ninja. Oh, this is kind of nice. It's a bit too realistic style, but I like that. That's looking rich. It's a bit dark, isn't it? Yeah, I wouldn't use the character art. I'd go more pixely than that. Tree of Savior. Let's go through all of these. Savior. Grandia. I'm sure I've looked at that before. Okay, what's going on there? I don't know. What is going on there? Is that just a big fight? Actually, that looks this is quite nice for 3D. And so this is, oh, is it 3D or 2D? I don't know anymore. Oh, it is 3D. Yeah. And And this could be one of the styles to try once I got the game working, like when moving to 3D. Let's have a look. Grandia 2. So that's 3D graphics. The character art on this actually is quite nicely detailed. Stands out a bit from the background, which looks very old. Maybe this is running on an emulator or something in higher detail. Blurred textures, you can't beat it. But that's actually quite nice as far as that 3D stuff. I did okayish art for Diorama. Legend of Mana. Yes, I mean the Secret of Mana stuff. Oh, I saw the hang on. 1:57. Is that an hour? Yes, it is. Good. If it was 1:57, we're not going to see much of the game. I've never played Legend of Mana, but Secret of Mana is one of my favourite games. I saw the remake, or a video of the remake, and my heart sank. It just looked awful, and it didn't sound like it was the same soundtrack. Yeah, so things like this and Chrono Trigger, a lot of the SNES RPGs had fantastic character graphics. And they were all, you know, this is all fantasy stuff. It's kind of, yeah. Legend of Mana. Let's go and have a look at the sprite as resource. Legend of Mana. Because if you can rip off some of the big monsters, that would be awesome. It looks like no, not that big one we just saw. Wasn't there? Biochimera. Yeah, okay, so this is all built up in pieces, which is kind of cool. I mean, doing a skeletal animation system works for 2D as well. Oh, Grandia 1. Sorry, dude. Legend of Mana. I'm going to put that on a list. See, if I was lucky, right? If I was genuinely lucky, I'd find a game that had pieces that I could already rip, and I wouldn't even pay for an artist. I would just experiment. Let's find a better. What was this? Was it PS1? Look at that jitter on the because of the maths. That is terrible. Can we just ban like bad quality streaming? Nope, this isn't getting us anywhere. All right. Oh yeah. Okay. So pixel art over 3D. That's cool. That is cool. Let's have a look. Which game are we talking about? Terraria, maybe. You could find a pixel artist to do quick mediocre assets for a demo pretty easily. Dust and Elysian Tale. That's an interesting one because the guy is clearly super talented, but it leaves me absolutely cold. I think part of it is the weird kind of furry aspect of it, which I don't know. It just doesn't appeal to me much, actually. I mean, I love cats. Cat girls are all right, and a bit of anthropomorphification. Can't even say it on animals is good, but the yeah, an Elysian Tale was a bit odd. Grandia 1. Yeah, I would love to be able to just rip something. In fact, let's go. So let's have a look at something like Secret of Mana tile set. Right, let's go and see what they've got. Because if I don't have to. If I can just use these to start with, then I'd be all right. Yeah, see, the trouble is that people don't rip just the tiles, and give us all the tile sets. They do them as objects, which is actually not ideal. Loadcross saying you could find an artist pretty easily. Oh, okay. Oh, sorry, Festech. All right. What would the name of these tools? Pixel tries? Well, no. I mean, like, depends what you mean. There's 2D, 3D, and obviously you can have 2D in a 3D world and stuff. I don't think there's a particular name for them. But what's quite funny is like that isn't a very big tile set, and my memory of something like Secret of Mana or Zelda on the SNES is that the tile sets were huge and varied, and they weren't. Basically, there wasn't much to it at all. Let's do a SNES tile set. I mean, if I look at Super Metroid, the tile set for that is tiny. Let's just find some. Click some at random. Oh, excuse me for a sec, guys. Phone call. All right. That was me talking to the cleaner that I've never met. Who? Yes. Right. Let's have a look at his art. I think I've seen that picture before. All right. Where are we? Where are we? How come it's Rob the Phone? Yes. More like Terribly Maple Story. Maple Story's cropped up for. But I'm gonna stop. Yeah. Stop looking through these things. I could just nick a do you know what? Why don't I just nick Super Mario? Right? Why don't I just do that? Super Mario World, right? How hard would it be to take one of these? What was that? Hang on a sec. What's going on here? Why is this so hard to get the right one? Can't we do it via games? Alright. Let's try that again. I just want the game. Oh, come on. This is great. I love it when I'm just looking for Super Mario and it's giving me everything but that. Because Super Mario is actually not a very well-known game, right? So I'm not surprised it doesn't come out. Ah, Superstar Saga. That's good. Partners in Time. That's quite cute. Mario Battle. Yeah, I mean, I could just take one of these, right? Yeah, I bet this are these graphics going to be cut out correctly? Probably not. You'll make art for food. Yeah, I assume you're hungry. Fixed version. No, I don't know what that's all about. Right, what's that pinging? Oh, I need to leave in a few minutes. Oh, in fact, Jodie's just told me I need to go and pick her up now. Guys, I'm going to have to stop the stream. Do you know what I think? I think I'm not going to look for an artist now. I'm just going to take this. There'll be fun cutting out the animation frames or whatever it is, but that's okay. That's okay. Non-playable characters. How does this work? Baby Luigi. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, so I might be back later this evening. It will be much later this evening, but I will be streaming over the weekend. This is interesting because ripping graphics is actually quite good because it means I have to use... Like, I still want to find a good one, but I have to use it. I can't spend my time mucking around. And there's a few tools that I can already use, like Tiled. I've got a way of cutting these things out and making animations, sprite sheets and stuff. And some of the 2D engines have already got animation playback awareness. So, in fact, what I could do... Gosh, there's something to think about. Why don't I do a demo in the browser? I could do that. I could do that. Guys, I'm going to head off. Who's streaming? Who's streaming? Load Claw, are you streaming now? Quick. Unity export WebGL. Maybe. Thanks for following, people. I don't know why my updater seems to be a bit slow, but maybe 67 Pencil Fluke, Matthias, Cassandra 18. Yeah, cheers for following. Has anyone answered? No, I gotta go. Everyone is at PAX. No one is streaming. Okay, then I will pick one at random. Windy Beard Games. See you later, guys.